everyone, Kelly here from Company Partners. Welcome back to our video series on how to start a business in South Africa. So in our previous session, we discussed how to start making sales. If you missed any of our previous sessions, simply click on the link in the description below to watch it now. Once again in studio, I have Zandile, our entrepreneur, and I also have our business coach, registered IMCSA, Brend, who joins me today in studio to discuss the key aspects of building your product or service delivery systems to ensure you have appropriate packages for your services and products and can deliver it to your clients in a systemized way.
Yes.
Welcome, Brend.
Thank you.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. Steve Jobs, you all know Steve Jobs, right? So Steve Jobs' statement is spot on when it comes to product or service delivery. He says that customers don't measure you on how hard you tried, they measure you on what you deliver. So Brent, what are the core aspects to look at when creating a product or service?
It's a very good question. So basically what you want to do is you want to take your product or service and you want to unpack it. There's a couple of key things that plays a vital role within your product or service. So I'm going to run through them. Number one, how much does it cost? Number two, how long will it take? Number three, what do you require from the client to continue with the service? Number four, what is the process that you're going to follow, the step-by-step process to deliver the product or service? And then lastly, accessibility. Is there any obstacle that's blocking your product or service efficiency and effectivity to actually deliver the product or the service? So once you unpack it like that, your package starts to make sense and you can then really dig into creating systems to create this product or service over and over and over.
Awesome. Zandile, I think you have a question for Brent.
Yes. So once I create my product or service, how do I work out my profitability?
Very good question. A lot of people miss this. So basically when it comes to the profitability of your product or service, you got to ask yourself, number one, how much will it cost me to either create or to deliver the product or the service? Number two, you got to ask yourself, how long will it take? Because ultimately the time's also going to play a role in the profitability. Number three, you got to ask yourself, what other expenses will be involved when it comes to delivering my product or my service? And then also, which is most important, is what's my profit goal? So you start off with a profit goal and say, I want to be 50% profitable. Then you say, right, how much then do I need to charge the client? And then deduct the cost price. In other words, how much it's going to cost me to create the product or service. I need to deduct that. So let's say I charge my product or service 1,000 Rand and I want to be 50% profitable, which means I'm going to make a profit of 500 Rand. Now I got to ensure that my cost is, let's say it's going to be 200 Rand, which is 20% of the profit, right? Or 20% of the total asking price. Then let's say I'll be willing to spend 20% on marketing and advertising. That's another 20% coming by. So now you sit with 40% that it's going to cost you to deliver the product or the service. And let's say lastly, you're going to give your salespeople a 10% commission on making a sale. Then you hit your target of 50% cost versus 50% profitability, and that's just in a nutshell. It obviously gets a bit more complicated than that, but just stick to these principles and you're going to get to profitability.
Great stuff. Thank you for that breakdown, Brent. Now, apart from creating a viable product and figuring out how to make it profitable, what other aspects of a product and service delivery is important to look out for?
What's very important is once you've created the product or service once, you got to systemize the process to duplicate the product more than once. If you think about McDonald's created a system to make a Big Mac more than 69 million times per month.
Wow.
Right, and then the last thing that comes in is my distribution. How will I take the product or service and distribute it? And through that we can see McDonald's is now distributing their 69 million Big Macs through their 37,000 franchises in the world. So just repeating, secondly, after you've created the product or service, you want to look at your distribution, your duplication, how do I systemize that, and then your distribution channels.
Awesome. Thanks for that example. I think the McDonald's one, we can't forget that.
No, for sure.
So it does make sense. Thank you. So you have clearly identified to us that when you want to create a product and service that you can sell, you need to consider your customer and what they want to know and how to distribute it. Some interesting points there, Brent. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
So, for a step-by-step guide on how to create a product or service you can sell, join our free startup workshop today. Join us next time, guys, to discuss how to create structure in your business. See you there.